Welcome to Vidane Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for week 2 of the Edgewater Screen New Smyrna Speedway World Series of eRacing. My name is Wes Rowdy Hogue. In the production truck is Paul Showtime Strickland. And next to me is the voice of New Smyrna Speedway, Ryan Stevens. And we are here for week 2 of the World Series of eRacing, brought to you by VidaneTV and Edgewater Screens. And we're here with the Modifies. Last week was the Street Stocks. This week is the Open Wheel Tour Modifieds. Next week will be the Super Relates. We have a 100-lap feature coming up. But to get there, we got to qualify. Ryan, how you doing this evening?
Wes, I'm doing pretty good, man. You are very, very excited. I can tell. I can hear it in your voice, and I'm very excited as well. I can't do the yelling, man. I don't know how you do it because I'll blow my voice out. But, yes, like you said, we are in for a great show tonight. Qualifying underway right now, just like last week. Going to lock in the top 10 there. We'll try to run that down for you once it completes. And then we're going to have a bunch of heat races, qualify some of those guys in, then we'll send the rest to those hooligan races, those last chance races before the main event. So qualifying going to be a big deal, just like it was. We have a full house. The pits are packed here tonight, and it's going to be a show just to see who makes the show. And I'm very excited here. Week number 2 of the Edgewater Screen New Smyrna Esports World Series. So buckle in, get ready to have a lot of fun here tonight.
Ryan, we got about 50 showing up. We're only taking on 25. The top 10 and qualifying, move on. You go straight. You're able to pass go, collect $200, and go straight on to the 100-lap feature. You don't have to worry about those heats and consies. The rest of the field will have to battle it out. And from the practice races we've seen earlier this week, those practice races were a doozy. These guys are having a little bit of an issue controlling these cars, but they're starting to get it. So we might see a caution-filled beginning to the feature, but I expect to see it start to, I guess, thin out a little bit and see some green flag racing tonight. And for those watching on Facebook, thank you so much. Those on YouTube, thank you so much. Make sure you hit those like buttons and the subscribe buttons. You can catch us every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock calling the action here for the next 7 weeks, as well as we have something brewing up on Monday nights for the Pro Truck Challenge Series here in Florida, as well as another 6 nights this week. So, Ryan, we got a full schedule here at VidaneTV, and tonight we got a full schedule in these tour mods.
Yes, we do, and that's kind of the fun thing we're doing with this World Series is it's a different class every week. We have 3 different classes rotating. Like last week, we saw the Street Stocks. Tonight we have these tour mods. Next week we have the Supers. So we're throwing these guys a little bit of a monkey wrench. We saw Anthony Sergi win the opener in the Street Stocks. We'll see if he's even going to be good tonight. I mean, he was quick in the practice that they had earlier today. But we're probably going to see some different names up in the front. Ryan Borg's right now currently sitting on top of the leaderboard. I expect the Ryans, who we talked a lot about on this program, to be really, really good. But Wes, you alluded to possibility of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series, perhaps getting on board with VidaneTV and starting their own series. Just want to remind you that the O'Reilly Auto Parts Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series is an official sponsor of the New Smyrna World Series of esports here. And they're an actual touring class here in the state of Florida. They go to pretty much all the tracks from New Smyrna Speedway to 417 Speedway to Showtime Speedway. So make sure you check them out on Facebook, and we appreciate all of our sponsors, which, of course, we'll be telling you about all night long when we have the chance. But, Wes, we're seeing the leaderboard here jump around. Joshua Hart, who did not make the first race, has gone to the top of the board. So we're going to see different names, and it's going to make things very interesting here tonight.
I was able to catch a very quick word with Joshua before this event. Yeah, unfortunately, he actually had to work last week, so he was not able to make the event, but he's here tonight, and he has jumped to the top of the board, and I'd say with about a minute to go, he should be safe to move on. So again, the top 10 don't have to worry about those heats and consies. They move straight on to the main event, and seeing some familiar names up there so far.
How about Eric Purcell jumping up to second? That's maybe a little bit of a surprise.
It is, and one familiar name we see on the bubble is Anthony Sergi there in the 20, and he gets bumped out. So Anthony's going to have to start in the heat, and a little bit of a monkey wrench thrown in for these guys is the top 5 in qualifying when we come feature time will be inverted. So 5th will start first will start 5th.
Well, we're seeing a lot of things change. I was just going to say Jason Lester on the bubble. He's been knocked out. Bruce Bennett to the top, and now Ryan Matthews up into the 3rd position. So one of those Ryans that we talked about, Ryan Borges, Ryan Matthews. I'm sure you're going to hear us talk a lot about those two gentlemen throughout the program. Bruce Bennett's been very strong in this series as well. Anthony Sergi. One name I'm not seeing in here, maybe he is in here, but not seeing Daniel Dye. I expected him to maybe break out tonight, but Wes, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see him in the server tonight.
Daniel Dye is actually running a special event for NASCAR Roots presented by NBC tonight. So he was honored enough to be able to do that tonight. So congrats to Daniel Dye.
Well, that is a pretty big honor right there. And he's real big into this iRacing stuff. And, as a member of the New Smyrna Speedway, we appreciate him going out and doing all these other races as well. I'm sure we'll see him get to the top of the board throughout these races. And that's the thing you're going to see here, folks. You're going to see drivers come and go throughout the 9 weeks. It is tough with everyday life to make every race, but that's what's going to make this interesting. And we are gridding here race number 1. We'll see if we can't get a rundown of the top 10 qualifiers here before we get going.
I got us our rundown here. Starting pole will be Brandon Morris in the 56. He's been showing off pretty well in the practice races. Starting outside pole will be Anthony Sergi in that 20 machine. Starting 3rd will be Jay Zolciak Jr. in the number 4. Scheduled to start 4th will be Hayden Vaughn in the 10. He'll be scheduled to start 4th. Starting 5th will be Tyler Sontag in the 91 machine. Starting 6th will be Willie Cuddy in the 23. Starting 7th will be David Leininger in the 13. Will be starting 7th. Starting 8th will be Jimmy Frazier in the 6. 9th, Dylan Penny, newcomer here at the World Series of eRacing. He'll be in the 39. The 27 will be Jason Iseman. 10th, and rounding out your field will be Kyle Pitts in the 11. So, again, top 3 will move on from this event, and these will be admin-controlled cautions. So, if you're not familiar with admin-controlled cautions, that means the admin throws the yellow, not the game. So if there's an incident further in the back, it's a 1-car incident, they spin, they better get their wheel up and going because the admin's not going to throw that caution. They're only going to throw that caution when deemed necessary, which is a little bit more real, Ryan. You're not going to see Ralph or anybody else that might be up in the flag stand throwing the yellow at New Smyrna Speedway if 1 car is spinning on their own in the back.
Right. If we get a little spin, we'll keep them going. But if we get a big wreck near the front of the field, we'll re-rack them and try them again. But here's the big story in this race. Anthony Sergi in the 20, that blue car that you see there, he was the winner a week ago, did not make the top 10 in the single car qualifying effort. So Sergi going to have to come through the heat races, and we're only taking 3 drivers in the heat. So these heats are going to be, well, dare I say, wild and crazy, Wes.
I would say these heats should be wild and crazy. I think Kyle Young, our admin in the booth, is going to have his hands full throughout this night. We've been working with him side by side, making sure he has all the tools he needs to be successful. But what he needs is these drivers to be successful. So the green flag is out, however. Up front, the battle already wages on. Sergi falling to second. Your leader right off the get-go, Brandon Morris in the 56 going into 3.
Brandon Morris, the veteran sportsman driver in the state of Florida, he's got the lead right now over Sergi, the late model standout. Sergi, one of those guys who will be heading to Showtime Speedway if you want to catch some racing action this weekend on pay-per-view. But right now he's in second.
Big wreck up front.
We got trouble. We have trouble on the track, and that's going to bring out the first yellow flag of the day. So the caution does come out here.
It looks like something happened up front there with the 8 of Kyle Pitts. He came off of turn 2 and just lost control of that machine, whipped it into the 13 machine. Oh, man, of Jason Iseman. Paul, what you got there for us, buddy?
Yeah, we're going to slow this. Actually, we're going to run it in real time. We're going to take a look here, the 27 car. Just taking a look, and you see the man, he just gets loose and kind of helicopters that car, sends him on down. Big motor damage for the 27, so he is done. He's no good, not going to be able to finish up this heat race. He's going to have to win that Conti later on this afternoon, so definitely a tough break for Iseman.
Boy, that was incredible. Helicopters, right. That thing was flying through the air, and it looked like a helicopter crash when it came back down. So not the way these guys want to start their night. Jason Iseman, one of the tough luck drivers in this series, smoke coming out of the engine, and like Paul said, that's no good.
Yeah, and I stand corrected. That was Dylan Penny, a newcomer here in the 39. He just came off turn 2 and overcorrected and took out some guys with him. But they have a Conti. They have a last chance qualifier to try to make their way into the field. And if everything works correctly here, if you win that Conti, you get to move on. And we'll see how many cars showed up. We are scheduled to have 2 Contis, will we? I'm not too sure. We are going to have 3 heat races, though. That is a plus. And if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and shoot us over a comment. Who's your pick for tonight to win? Who is your favorite driver here from New Smyrna Speedway? Some of these names are known beyond New Smyrna Speedway, such as a Tyler Sontag, such as an Anthony Sergi, Brandon M. Morris. He races elsewhere in the country. Who is your pick to win this race?
I think Anthony Sergi is going to be able to get it done. I think we're going to see some more passing out of these modified, so I look for Sergi to be good in this one.
Yeah, Sergi is a guy that always to watch out for. However, Ryan, Brandon Morris has done a really, really good job in the practice races and just some private races. I think he's going to be one to watch for all night tonight, as long as he can stay out of trouble.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key, Wes, is staying out of trouble.
Yeah, these cars, something about these cars, man, they're not easy to run side by side in. And also with these cars, it's almost like there's a bubble around them. And if you puncture that bubble, you're going to send the guy around in front of you. These bumpers definitely stick out here as you see us back under green. Brandon M. Morris is your leader. Your first battle is back between the 6 of Jimmy Frazier. He battles side by side right now. And Frazier is in the wall. 23, Cuddy loses it on his own. No caution yet. We're going to see if the 23 can get his machine back up and rolling as he sits on the track. He is out of the way, though, so I expect it to stay green as it looks like the 23 now getting it up and going.
A lot of action so far in this race, and now Brandon Morris proving me wrong as he looks to be the guy to beat. He's got a big lead over Sergi. We right along with him down the front straightaway.
The 4 of Zolciak all over the bumper, the 20 of Anthony Sergi, trying to figure out the best way to get around these guys without causing an incident, which is a lot easier said than done compared to last week's street stocks. But these guys are, some of these guys here are iRacing veterans. They know how to get it done. And it just takes a little bit more effort as Popsicle sticks are out. 2 to go here in this first heat of the night.
2 laps to go for Brandon Morris as he tries to qualify his way in. Remember, only the top 3 going to lock their way in. Everybody else to the B mains later tonight.
Being in main should definitely be interesting as we have a 1 to go here. Last lap. Looks like right now the catbird seat is Brandon Morris. He should come off of turn 4 here without an issue. As he does, he will win the first heat of the night, followed up by Anthony Sergi and Jay Solziak. They will move on to your feature race.
Oh, man, just missing out tonight. Tyler Sontag with a good run comes home 4th. Hayden Vach rounds out the top 5. Kyle Pitts, Jimmy Frazier, Willie Cuddy, those guys and everybody else there will transfer to the B main later tonight. One final chance to make it in. But Brandon Morris, Anthony Sergi, and Jay Zolciak make it in heat number 1. As we get ready for heat number 2, we'll get that staged, and we'll bring you the starting lineup. Some heavy hitters in this one again, Wes.
Yep, this is going to be an interesting one. Starting pole will be the nothing but controversial Jason Lester in the 7. Either he's on a racetrack in a pit road or a grocery store. He's one you always want to make sure you got an eye on. Starting second will be Jeffrey Gabault in the 92. Starting third will be the 47 of Cody Pitts. Fourth, the 21 machine of Devon Mcleod. He did a wonderful job last week. Starting fifth will be Justin Collison in the 12. Sixth will be Jared Bolliard in the number 97, winner of Season 8 Vidane Racing Super Speedway Series this year. Starting seventh is Kevin Macy. He is a modified driver and elsewhere in the country. Pretty good driver as well. Starting eighth will be Mike Sukup in the Travis Sukup ride in that 45. Corey Katuna will be in the 03, starting ninth. And then rounding out your field will be Art Hendren in the 64. And that will be it. Scheduled was Joshua Kunspek, but he did not make the race. Looks like he is not here.
Yeah, Joshua had some problems in practice, Wes, and his car not going to be able to make the cut for heat number 2. Keep around that 7. Jason Lester, he gets rowdy out there on the racetrack, so he'll be fun to watch. Also, we have the 21 Devon Mcleod, who was one of the top drivers in the street stock portion of the World Series a week ago. So watch that red 21 up there on the outside of row number 2. So we're getting ready to go green for heat race number 2. See who are going to be the next 3 drivers to lock their way into tonight's 100-lap main event.
All right, the Daytona Dodge Pace Truck makes his way off of pit road, and we are green. Jason Lester against the jump, and we are green flag racing heat number 2 here. The 92 bottles them up there on the bottom. The 92 of Jeffrey Gabalt did not get the start he wanted, but great driving by Cody Pitts as well. Jared Bolliard further behind him, and they go barreling into turn 3.
Yeah, barreling is right, but how about the move for Devon Mcleod, the red car there, the 21 up to second here. And now we got that big battle from third on back. Remember, only the top 3 going to qualify. So I believe Pitt's in the 47. He's got the final spot, and they're all chasing him now. As third through about 6th all lined up here down the front straightaway as these tour-type modifieds fly around this half-mile speedway.
Gabalt in the 92 put a hard block on the 97 of Jared Bolliard, but he's falling back hard as the 92. Not what he wanted to see to start this thing off. That puts Bolliard into that 4th position. The next in his crosshairs will be Cody Pitts in that 47 machine, but does he have the car to do so? It's still early in this one, only lap 4.
4 out of 12 complete. They're still chasing the Jason Lester number 7 car. Devon Mcleod in second. And here's a battle forming up on the front straightaway for position a little bit further back in the field. Outside of the qualified positions, they got to make up time, got to make up space here in a hurry.
That was Mike Sukup under fire from Jeffrey Gabald in that 92, but Sukup able to hold on to that position. Mike Sukup, his son, Travis Sukup, is a street stock racer or super stock racer at Smyrna, and Mike likes to hop on in here and play a little bit of iRacing and have some fun with us, and he does a great job, and as does Jason Lester. We reached the halfway point. We
got the 45 Sukup into the inside wall here on the front straightaway there. We'll have to see if that's going to bring out a caution as he gets it rolling. So, Wes, I think we're going to stay green. Things looking good for Jason Lester, Devon Mcleod, and Pitts in the 47.
Man, oh man, as I speak about it, we did that again, Ryan. We talked positive about somebody and they get wrecked.
I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure I'll hear from Bruce Bennett if I talk good about him again this week and jinx him again. Last week I was trying to talk good about him, jinxed him. You're talking good about Sukup, you jinxed him. We got a battle heating up for the second spot here, Wes.
Cody Pitts in that 47, trying to get all over Devon Mcleod's bumper here. Cody Pitts on that bubble position, and when you're riding that bubble position and you got the gap that he has back to the 97 at Bolliard, you got to keep it in mind that you're moving on where you're at. Yes, you want to move up in position, but you got to be smart about it. You don't want to do anything that's going to take yourself out or somebody else, bring out a caution, and if you're at fault, you go to the end of the longest line.
Well, especially if you got a qualified position like these two have. They've got a lot of distance. And they're solidly locked into the show right now. So, Wes, if these two make a mistake, it's just going to be devastating for their nights, and there's no reason for it at this point. Qualifying to the main event.
And Mr. Controversy, Jason Lester makes his way through 3 and 4. He sees the white flag is out. And for a guy that is the usually center controversy, I'll tell you what, he can still drive a race car. He is pretty smooth. He knows how to hold a steady line, and he knows what he's doing behind that wheel as he takes his way around 3 and 4. And as long as he comes smooth, he will. Jason Lester will win Heat 2, followed up by Devon Mcleod, and Cody Pitts will move on.
So that's it. The top 3 moving on. Lester, Mcleod, and Pitts. Jarrett Bolliard, Justin Collusion there, and Jeffrey Gabalt. Your top 6. Those drivers will have to go to the B feature later tonight. We're gridding heat number 3, the third and final heat of the evening. And another stout field of cars. I mean, Jesse Power starting way back in this field, not getting the handle on these tour-type modifieds. He was one of our contenders from a week ago. And Wes will bring us the starting lineup so we can see everybody trying to make their way into the show.
All right, your starting lineup will follow for the final heat of the race. Matthew Poole in the 73 will be starting pole. Starting second will be the 07 of Dylan Martin. Starting third will be the 76 of Austin Penny. Fourth will be Bray Holmes in the 57. Starting fifth will be the 50 of David Costello. Corey Spencer in the 11 will be starting sixth. David Love in the 70 will be starting 7th. Kiri Morris in the 211 will be starting 8th. Eugene Tuminello will be starting 9th in the 35. Jesse Powers in the number 32 will be starting 10th. And then Robert Pierce will be rounding out your field 11th. It looks like he did not grid, though, so he may be waiting to the LCQ. And speaking of Jesse Powers, we got just a little bit of money on the line tonight for the winner. Jesse Powers and his company has decided that they're going to throw a little bit of sponsorship out there at them, and that was AWS Roofing, $10 to the winner tonight. It's not much, but it is something.
Hey, $10 is $10. We also want to thank Super Spray Pressure Wash, one of the sponsors of the series here. Give them a call at 386-566-0409 if you need anything pressure wash. They do it all. That's Super Spray Pressure Wash with James Adams there. As we get ready to go back to racing here, our third and final heat of the night, Wes, with Poole and Martin on your front row. Here they come off corner number 4, looking for that green flag. And there it is. We are underway once again here at the new Smyrna Speedway.
Matthew Poole gets a great start there. That's what he wants. So far we've seen if you start first, you finish first. But the 07 of Dylan Martin trying to break that trend. He looks low on Poole coming through 3 and 4. The battle for the lead. The 07 has to back off a little bit, which opens up the door now for the 57 of Holmes. He goes up the track. He washes up into Holmes. Can he hold on to it? Yes, he can. Not a good look for Ray Holmes there in the 57. However, the 07 of Dylan Martin able to prevail there.
Boy, Dylan Martin with a power move as we got trouble. The 50, Costello's around here on the front straightaway. He almost went upside down. Costello backwards on the front stretch in the green 50, and that's a tough break. That's going to send him to the back. He's trying to get it turned around, and I believe that's going to force the caution to come out.
Yeah, it looked like there that the 57 of Bray Holmes, he warped through the 50 there. They're a little bit of an issue there. So one of those two were warping where one went through the other. What do you got there, Paul? Yeah, I'll tell you what, Paul. When that's the one thing in real racing that you don't have to worry about is those connection issues where cars go inside of each other, and that happens in real racing. You got a little bit more issues than just end up along this line.
Yeah, lucky for Costello here, car not too badly damaged. So, I guess his real problem now is the laps. The laps are winding down here in a hurry. Caution laps, unfortunately, do count in the heat races. If you do have the cautions on, that's just part of it. Now Costello unlapping himself here. But yeah, the laps are winding down. We're halfway through this heat, and from what we've seen so far, it's a little bit tougher to pass than I thought it would be with these modifieds. Things looking good for Dylan Martin, Poole, and Penny, your top 3. As, again, only the top 3 going to lock themselves in here. Dylan Martin, though, Wes, we were talking earlier about Dylan Martin. He was involved in a serious incident, and we didn't know if he'd ever race again. He did make his return to the Pro Truck Series a couple of years ago, and hopefully he's got something in the works to get back to racing, because it looked like a promising career for him. Just glad to see that he's okay, and glad to have him on the show here tonight.
You know, there's a couple stories out there. You know, you got Shane Meal, you got, Ryan Newman, you got so many stories of guys that, shouldn't have got back into a race car and somehow do. And you can't help but be thankful that you get that opportunity to do so. And that's great to hear that story. It's unfortunate that Dylan went through those circumstances, but to hear him persevere and get back into a race car, that's awesome.
Absolutely. Now we're going to see if he's able to transfer his way into his first event here. First points counting event, at least, for the VidaneTV New Smyrna Esports World Series. And Wes, after this, it's going to be the last chance races. And so far, these heats have been relatively clean. A couple of incidents here and there, but that's to be expected. Last week, the B main was rough and tumble. I would not want to be in that race. So top 3 going to be very important here as Dylan Martin's getting ready to lead us back to green. with Poole to his outside, and boy, the top two get a good jump on Penny in the 76.
The 07 there of Dylan Martin getting that jump, as you said. Matthew Poole second, third place. Bray Holmes now. Penny not exactly getting the start that he wanted. He drops out of a transfer position in that 76, having to work his way back up through this field. The laps are winding down here. They come to lap 10, 3 to go. Can Austin Penny get back up to Bray Holmes? But it looks like Bray Holmes isn't worried about Austin Penny. He's trying to make his way around 73.
Bray Holmes trying to get inside a Poole here. Holmes, the pro truck extraordinaire, into third, but that might have cost him a little bit. He's got company creeping up, but with 2 to go, Penny's only got about a mile to try to make something happen as things are looking good for Dylan Martin up front. Battle's going to be with this final spot. We'll see if Penny can get that final spot away from Holmes. White flag is in the air, 1 to go.
That gap grows in between Holmes and Penny. That's exactly what Holmes wants to see, as they have a half lap to go. In the catbird seat is the 07 of Dylan Martin. He's sailing across. No issues for him whatsoever. And it will be Dylan Martin winning Heat 3, followed up by the 73. That beautiful ride of, trying to get back through, of Matthew Poole, and then Bray Holmes moves on. So we go straight to our C main. The winner will move on.
All right, so the C main tonight, and as Wes said, only the winner is moving on. So last week we had just the one consolation race.
No,
and
I apologize, Ryan. I'm completely wrong. The top 3 will move on this as well.
All right, top 3 to qualify. All right, that makes it a little, and I believe we're having a couple of last chance races tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
We are. We're having 2 last chance races.
That's a good thing, Wes, because last week this race was almost unwatchable, and now these drivers, we're splitting them up, kind of dirt track style here a little bit, and we'll take the top 3. So maybe this is Tyler Sontag's night to get in this thing.
Tyler Sontag will be starting pole, so this will be his best chance to do so. Starting second will be Austin Penny in that 76. We just saw him out there struggling to make it, and he's going to be, now it's his time. Justin Collison starting third in the number 12. Fourth will be the 8 of Kyle Pitts. Fifth, Corey Spencer in that 11. Sixth will be Kevin Macy in the 119. Seventh, Willie Cuddy in the 23. Starting eighth will be David Costello in the 50. Mike Sukup will be starting in the 45 and 9th. 10th, Dylan Penny. 11th will be David Love, and that will round out your field. And I think David Love and Josh Kunzbeck, who are scheduled for this race, will not be making the race. So only 10 cars here. Hopefully this means we'll get a clean 20 laps on this C main.
Well, let's hope so. 20 laps, 3 to qualify. So again, going to be a nail biter for those, because this is it. If you don't make it in the top 3 in this race, pack up your computer and go home, because that's it. That's all she wrote for you. Top 3 transfer to the main event. If you're just joining us, we had qualifying earlier, locked in the top 10, 3 heats locking in the top 3. Now 2 B mains or consolation races. We're trying to lock in the rest of the field. Here we go. Tyler Sontag, the 91. He gets the jump on Penny, who we just saw in that last race, who's in second, but now he's got company with the 12 machine up there. And nope, I apologize there. That's not the 12 car. The 12 car down on the inside, put the pressure on from behind.
Right, these guys are giving more give and take than what I expected, and I am impressed. As now the 12 gets moved out of the way by the 119 of Kevin Macy. Kevin Macy says, Mr. Collison, I need that position. I need it now. That is for the final transfer spot. Collison understands the pressure he's under. Now he's going after Kyle Pitts there in the 8. He wants to get up there and get that final transfer spot as well. Side by side down the backstretch. Give it to Collison in the 3.
Collison takes it over. Pitts got a little bit out of shape there. Now he's got company from that car behind him as they get it sorted out. So right now, Wes, at blue 12, he's your final qualifier, as the top 2 are trying to pull away and stay out of this gaggle. The gaggle of cars is going to be from about 4th to 6th as they try to get in the show. 4 laps complete. Top 3 and only 3. Oh, we got a spin. Spinner in the back of the pack. 23, I believe. Well, a couple of them going around. Dylan Penny, one of those, and the 23 of Willie Cuddy.
Willie Cuddy was the meat in the sandwich there, and looks like he has parked it. He said, all right, that's a it for me. He was already in the back, not having the best handling car, and got sent around. That was basically going to be his chance to move on. So unfortunately, you would not see Willie Cuddy in that 23 in the feature, but Tyler Sontag in that 91 ride, trying to make sure you see him.
Yeah, we're riding along with him now down the front straightaway. Tyler Sontag, your race leader, came just short of making the big show in the street stocks a week ago. But tonight, sitting pretty. A little bit of pressure from behind from that Austin Penny, number 76. Oh, and contact, and Tyler Sontag's going to go around. Are you kidding me? Oh, he saved it, but that's going to cost him all his track position and maybe his entire night.
If I know Tyler Sontag, he is not happy. He just got the chrome horn, and ladies and gentlemen, that is short track racing. Austin Penny in the 76, and hey, I want that spot, and I want it now. And he took it. Tyler Sontag saved that thing, but this is not over. He still has a long way to go. All you need is in the top 3 to move on, and he's still in that pack. Don't count out Tyler Sontag in that 91 just yet.
Yeah, his long road to the front, though. I mean, it's going to be tough for him to get back up there, but he's hot. I can already hear him from his home, miles and miles away. I can hear him just screaming mad. But Tyler Sontag's going to try to get to the front. But Wes, it just seems like with these particular cars, once they get up to speed, it's hard to get around the car in front of you. And I thought maybe for a second Tyler Sontag was going to be okay, maybe just slide through the corner, lose a couple spots, but he lost all his momentum. And now he's stuck towards the middle of the pack. And, we got the 50 of Costello around once again. David Costello having a tough go of things as we're halfway through this race, and it's not looking good for Tyler. Or David at that rate.
All right, and we have gotten word in that there has been a black flag that has been issued to the 76.
Oh, our leader.
Yes, he just plowed through the leader there, and yeah, not going to take that lightly here.
Yep, trying to make sure these guys race clean as if this were real racing, and now it'll put Colson in the 12 with Pitts 1 and 2. So now let's let the scoreboard cycle around to see who's in the actual third spot here. Top 3 and only 3 are going to qualify, and it's not going to be the 76 tonight. Tough break for Penny, but the aggression gets the best of him.
It does, and that's very unfortunate, especially for these guys that show up week after week. He's not one. I don't know if he's going to be one of those guys that plans on showing up in the future, but you can't show up and just plow through the leader like that. It just doesn't work like that. And unfortunately, Tyler Sontag, there's no way that they can say, all right, get your position back. There's no way of doing that. But at least a little bit of justice can be served. Unfortunate. Austin Penny's one hell of a driver as well.
Well, now the 76 better look out, because next time Tyler Sontag sees him, he's going to unplug his computer.
Yeah, we're coming to lap 17, and right now Austin's still being shown the leader. But his scoring will end here very soon if he pulls off the track or not.
Yeah, so if he takes the actual checkered flag, it's not going to count. We'll move the actual top 3 in. But right now the 12, he is your official race leader, even though he's running second there on the track. He and Pitts looking good to qualify here in this first of 2 consolation races tonight.
All right, here we go. 2 to go left, 2 to go left. And now Austin Penny is he's not being scored anymore. So he, even though he's out here, he is not being scored any longer. So and it looks like he has been removed. So that's what happened. So that leaves the lead now to a whole different driver, and that lead has gone to
and
Collison.
Look at them battle here. Wesley almost took each other out in turn number 2. Kevin Macy has now slipped into that 3rd position. So Macy's looking to make it, and Collison's going to win in the 12 over Pitts, and Kevin Macy going to be the final qualifier here unofficially after this consolation race.
Man, it's unfortunate to see somebody get black flagged like that, man. But
and of course, Tyler Sontag gets back up to 4th. You got to be kidding me. What a heartbreaker again.
So close, but so far away.
All right, Wes, that was, all things considered, a pretty good race. We're getting ready to grid the second consolation race. Same story. Wes is going to bring the starting lineup in a minute, but we want to remind you to check out Sunshine State Racing on Facebook. They're the #1 source for everything Florida racing. So if you want to know what's going on this week, if there's a racetrack you can actually go to, make sure you follow Sunshine State Racing. They'll give you everything you need to know. Wes, what do we have here for the second consolation race?
Well, this is what we're going to have. So Let's see here. We're going to pull up our starting for our B main for our grid. It will start with a Jarrett Bolliard starting first, Hayden Valk in the 10 starting second, Eugene Tuminello in the 35 starting third. Starting fourth will be Jeffrey Gabalt in the 92. Starting fifth, Jimmy Frazier in the 6. Starting seventh, 32 of Jesse Powers. Starting sixth, with Jesse Powers. Starting seventh with the 03 of Corey Katuna. Starting eighth, David Leininger in the 13. Kerry Morris in the 211 starting ninth. Rounding out your field will be Jason Iseman in the 27.
All right, Eugene Tuminello is in this one. I didn't even see him in the heats or anything. So hopefully, yeah. Oh no, I take that back. He's in the 35. I don't know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just lose your mind up here in the booth with all the excitement going on. So, all right, Wes, this is it. This is the last chance for these guys to make it in. The heats have been relatively decent tonight. A couple of incidents. That first consolation race was pretty good. As now we see some of the drivers switching lanes. The leader's going to go up to the outside lane, kind of the preferred line here at New Smyrna Speedway, especially on restarts. So that's why you saw that swap there between Bolliard and Vach. So again, Wes, top three going to make it. There's drivers in the back especially feeling the desperation now.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last chance to get in, the true definition of a last chance qualifier. You saw the C main, now you got the B main. This will be it. Now, can Hayden Vach pull this off? Jarrett Bolliard on that outside. Let's see what he's able to do here as the pace car comes around. They're starting to bunch up on the start. Green flag flies, and big pile up.
You said bunch, and like a bunch of bananas, they're sliding around and wrecking on the front straightaway, and I think that was Vach in the 10 that got the worst of it, and the caution is going to come out. That is not how we wanted to start this thing.
Yeah, it honestly looked like the leader went and then stopped and then went again. Not exactly sure what Vach was doing. It looks like if Paul's going to get us the interview there or the replay there, but Vach just what happened there, Paul?
Yeah, this is one of those replays that we're really going to have to take a look at it from the blimp cam because there was a lot of action going on. So we're going to take a look at the College Hunks hauling, junk, and moving instant replay here on VidaneTV. So we'll give it to you in real time. We're going to look at it from the blimp view, way up top here of the virtual New Smyrna Speedway. And you can see the green flag comes out. The 10 car goes, like you said, and it looks like he didn't want to get a penalty for passing the leader before the start-finish line. It looks like that's probably why he checked up there. But unfortunately, everybody behind him, well, the car behind him checked up. The 35 did. The 6 did not. And he ran into the back of the 35 and wadded everybody up. As you can see, the 6, that's definitely going to cause some engine damage on that car. That was a hard hit. So tough break for those guys. But you know what? We're going to be restarting with about 15 laps to go. We'll see what these guys can get.
Man, that was crazy. We had a similar issue during our practice races. Something like that happened. While we got a second, you want to pull someone in the booth?
Let's see who we can get.
Let's pull somebody that we know is not going to flip out. We got our usual that we get in the booth. We have Anthony Sergi. Anthony, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
Doing well, Anthony. For a change, you're not in this calamity, and you're getting able to watch from a distance. What are you thinking so far? And you think you got a car to bring home the win tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's to be a lot about riding and saving that right front tire. These cars get really tight after about 6 laps, so it's all about saving that tire and hoping we stay out of the wrecks and just ride until probably lap 60 or so, and just hope we're up front for the end of the.
You know, during our practice races, we saw a very familiar or a wreck just like what we just saw. It was almost just like that practice race that we had. This time the leader didn't go. Are you concerned about the restarts, making sure everybody fires off correctly?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it's hard to pass with these cars because they're so tight in the center right now, and it's going to be hard after we get single file. I think it's going to be hard to pass someone unless someone slips up. So it's really going to be all about getting a good restart like the 92 did right there, and just getting in front of everyone and hoping that you get in front of it.
10-4. All right, we'll let you get ready here. The national anthem will be coming after this, and maybe we'll talk to you on the podium later.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Anthony Sergi. Always good to talk to Anthony. He's one of the guys that we can talk to.
Whoa, Wes, we got trouble again. We got the 32 of Jesse Powers going around, and he was battling for that transfer spot.
That seems like that's where calamity ends up being there, is for the transfer spot. Looks like the 32 got bumped by the Jimmy Frazier and then collected more. Boy, oh boy, that's not what you want to see, Paul.
Yeah, we'll load up the instant replay in real time. You can see the 32 car was up high, came on down, wanted that piece of real estate that the 211 had, but the 6 said, nah, I want it. And just kind of sent him on around, sent him down to the inside fence there. So tough break for the 32, but doesn't look like there's too much damage on that modified, so he should be able to see what he can get here for the last half of this consi.
And Jason Iseman also involved there, Wes. Sorry to cut you off, but his horrible night continued.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see. What the heck is going on here? This last chance qualifier not lining up exactly how these guys want it to happen.
Yep, but that's the thing. I mean, that's like we've been talking. Desperation sets in when you're running 4th, 5th, 6th. You can see the top 3 in front of you, and you know you have to get around the guy in front of you just as fast as you can to not lose any more time. And people are not afraid, as we even saw in the last one, to drive through each other, hoping they don't get picked on or get caught and kicked out of the server, if you will. But I don't think it's done yet. I think over these next 8 laps or so, we're going to see some more comers and goers.
All right, so we're going to get back rocking and rolling here. And again, this is brought to you by Edgewater Screens. Edgewater Screen is your title sponsor for this event. They do a wonderful job, and you'll see the number and the logo there, as Paul's going to put it up there for us. If you want to get a hold of them, you need a pool screened in, you got something in your yard you need screened in, or you just want to screen in something like a garage or something random. You're able to do so. Edgewater Screen will make sure you get that happen. As well as Cage Gauge for the do-it-yourself cage builder. If you want to build a cage, you want to pretty much cheat. You don't have to do it by hand. It's gonna help you so much getting around the hard work. Cage Gauge is there for you. You can check them online at Cage Gauge, CAGEGAGE.com. And also College Hunks Moving Junks. Bobby Dooley is the gentleman that runs this chapter, you could say, in Daytona. You can call them at any time you need something moved. You can go online, collegehunksmovingjunk.com. Also hit up Bobby Dooley online. He will be more than welcome to help you with any of your moving needs.
Hey, Wes, how about Rowdy's Dipping Service? You know a thing or two about that company?
Yeah, I've heard of them a couple times or not. They're all right, I guess. They're your premium liquid wrap service in North Florida.
If you're tired of your boring white car, give Wes a call at 904-814-3244. He'll make it any color you like.
Hey Ryan, we got orange, just letting you know.
So I've heard.
And the truck is down and we are green. Back green flag, keep racing here at New Smyrna Speedway. Barreling it down back into turn 1 right now. Your leader is that number 92, Jeffrey Gabalt.
Well, the battle's on for the final transfer spot between the 97 and the 211. 97, Jarrett Bolliard trying to hang on to that final spot. Oh, he cuts right up in front of the 211 there. As the 97 Bolliard, he's got the final spot, trying to drive away now and get away from the calamity behind him.
Jarrett Bolliard showing that he's not afraid to show some aggressiveness to make this show. We got one around in the back, and that is Art Hendren. Art Hendren spins it around all by himself. He's all by himself. That means he should have time to get her back up and going, as he is doing so at the start-finish line. Spins out right in front of our Hampton Inn victory lane, but he keeps going, and we stay green on the lap 16. 5 to go.
Well, now Jeffrey Gabalt's going to have to perhaps navigate this lap traffic. Here comes Bolliard, putting the pressure on the youngster, Eugene Tumanello. Tumanello in second, right in the high line, slips up. He's going to lose the spot. That's going to put Tumanello now in the bubble, perhaps with 5 to go, as he fights back, though, on that outside groove.
All right, here we go. The laps are winding down here, Ryan. Jeffrey Gabalt seeing what he wants to see in his mirror, and that's cars battling it out. And there is a battle for the transfer position Eugene Tumanello trying to hold it off in second place from Jarrett Bolliard, who is in that transfer position. This is where Jarrett needs to be smart. We spoke about this again.
Yeah.
2 laps to go.
We're riding with the 97 of Bolyard as he battles with Tuminello. One slip from either one of these drivers could cause a problem for both of them, kind of take them both out. Caution is out. Caution is out, Wes, and this could change everything.
Big wreck in the back, including Corey Katuna in the 03 barrel rolling down the front stretch.
We've got two of them upside down here, Wes. The 13 also on his lid. Boy, we'll have to get down there to Paul because that looked like a wild ride, bringing out the caution.
03
set up a green-white checker.
Paul, what you got here for us, buddy?
Yeah, just sifting through the tapes right now, trying to pull up. Looks like this is a multi-wreck, which happens from time to time here in big-time sim racing, but we're going to pull up the VidaneTV instant replay, and we're going to focus on the 03 of Katina, because we saw he ended up on his roof there. So you can see the 211's right in front of him, and he gets just shoots the 10 right in the back bumper. 10 corrects it, but then it looks like the 03 comes around and spins it. Holy moly! We're gonna back that up again, because that caught me off guard.
Air Jordan.
Air Jordan. So the 211 gets the shot from the 03, sends him into the wall. 13 comes in at full speed, just drives into the cage of that car, sends him tumbling on down the front stretch. He must have flipped about a dozen times there. Flashbulbs going on in the crowd. They know they just got entertained, but he's definitely done for the evening. But man, what a big wreck. A lot of damaged cars there.
Katina absolutely destroyed as he goes flying down the front straightaway in one of the most spectacular wrecks we've seen here at New Smyrna Speedway so far during this eWorld Series. And Wes, we thought maybe the top three was locked in, but how about the fourth place car right now, Jesse Powers in the 32? He's got a shot to get back in this thing. Remember, he was right up there battling for a transfer spot before getting wrecked. Do you think Jesse Powers can work his way to the top three with this two-lap shootout?
Man, he's got a lot of work in front of him, including the driver that's now in the booth with us, Jeffrey Gabalt. Jeffrey, you're here up front. You see all this action happening in the back. Think you can pull this off with this green-white checker?
I'm going to try my best. I haven't really seen much of anything. Not trying to brag, but I feel like I've been pretty fast here.
Well, that's a good thing. That's what you want in a race like this, but I'm sure you did not want that caution.
No, I was going as fast as I could to try to get to that finish line there.
You almost made it too. Now you got to pull them belts tight again and try to hold them off. Is your goal to win this race or just to qualify?
I mean, I want to make it in, but we're definitely going to go for checkers or wreckers here.
That's what I expect you to say. Good luck out there, buddy.
Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jeffrey Gabalt.
Yeah.
He's currently sitting in first place here in this race. He's going to try to get it done right now. Directly in his mirror is that 35 ride. That 35 ride being piloted by, as we get back through the field here, Eugene Tuminello, and then you're gonna have Jared Bolyard. But on the top of Jared Bolyard will be Jesse Powers. Jesse Powers throwing in $10 to the winner of this event. He wants to be in this race. He wants to have a chance to keep his $10. And we have 5 attempts, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts tonight in each race for green, white, checkered. So,
goodness.
It's about to go down, Ryan. We're going to try this at least one more time.
All right, watch the 21, Jason Iseman. He's had about everything go wrong so far tonight. Maybe this is his night, but look at this on the start. Jesse Powers in the 32. He's got the final spot for now, and they are side by side. Side by side with Tuminello. There's a wreck in the back. No, he saved it. And now Tuminello's got the final spot. Powers up to second. Tuminello and Bolyard now battling. Bolyard into the wall in the front straightaway.
Bolyard pushing hard, maybe too hard. Slaps the wall coming out of turn 4. That might have been it for Jared Bolyard. Back up front, though, Jeffrey Gabalt doing what he's got to do to bring home the win.
Oh, Tuminello.
Jeffrey Gabalt.
Tuminello fades high, and they're side by side. I think it's Tuminello as Bolyard crashes. Holy cow, Wes.
Give it to Tuminello as Jared Bolyard eats the wall coming out of turn 4 across the Hampton Inn victory lane. So
Gabalt wins it. Then Jesse Powers dig it up to second, and Eugene Tuminello takes that final spot in a great battle to the line. So tough break for Bolyard. And now, Wes, we're getting ready for the main event.
We are, and before the main event, you know what comes next. Paul is going to kick us over to our New Smyrna Speedway National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's
It's time to go racing.
Now, if those heat races and those Consi races didn't get you pumped up for some racing action here at New Smyrna Speedway, I don't know what to tell you. Great rendition there, the national anthem. Ready to do some racing, ready to do some sim racing here at New Smyrna Speedway. I'm Paul Showtime Strickland Jr. in the booth this evening, as they've been all night. Rowdy Wesley Hogan, Ryan Stevens. Great night of action here on tap. We want to thank you guys for coming out here tonight. Took us about an hour to get everybody qualified in, but we got the 25 top drivers here of the evening. They're going to be running 100 laps here at the virtual New Smyrna Speedway. Very excited to have this race here and this series, this weekly Wednesday night series put on by Edgewater Screens. Thank you so much for them. And thank you guys for coming out tonight to watch on Facebook and VidaneTV on YouTube. Let us know you're watching. Let us know where you're watching from, and let us know who your pick is to win tonight. You never know. Maybe come halfway, we might do another contest here. But Rowdy Wesley Hogue, man, we got some racing to call here this evening.
We do, and I apologize to those that are like, wow, why does Wes sound like a 50-year-old smoker today? We call a lot of races here.
Because you're a 50-year-old smoker.
we call a lot of races here at VidaneTV, and doing so, my voice doesn't do the best, as well as just talking all the time throughout the day. So bear with me, having some voice issues, but I'm going to make sure I can call this best I can for you. So if you are watching on Facebook, go ahead and let us know. Who do you think's going to win this thing? Who's going to win this thing? Go ahead and comment it. Let us know, and we have no problem communicating back and forth.
Wes, I think tonight I'm the least confident I've ever been as far as who's going to win. Anthony Sergi won it last week. We've seen Ryan Matthews be very strong in some of the practice races, and he won the Esports 100 that we did a few weeks ago with the New Smyrna Speedway. So some of the guys that we expect to contend might not be the ones to contend with the modifieds, and that's what makes this so very, very interesting, is there's a lot of unknowns, and of course, we had the top 10 locked in qualifying. There was an invert, so your starting lineup is going to be very interesting. All the guys you've seen racing throughout the evening are going to be starting 11th on back, so keep that in mind. You might have picked a favorite from the heat race, and maybe starting position, track position, not going to be in their favor. It's going to make this 100 laps very, very interesting, but we got about 2 minutes left on their final warm-up session. So, Wes, I want to take a moment to thank some of our sponsors, as we got a lot of people tuning in here for tonight's main event. Of course, we have www.cagegauge.com. That's the #1 roll cage fabrication tool. So make sure you go there and at least go to the website and check them out. And if you need anything done, give them a call. Also, of course, Sunshine State Racing. That's the #1 Facebook page following all of Florida's short track action, from the Gladiators at Volusia Speedway, the super late models at New Smyrna. That's Sunshine State Racing. Give them a follow, because if you're like me trying to figure out who's racing right now and what's going on, they'll have everything you need at one stop. So follow Sunshine State Racing there on Facebook. Also, of course, Super Spray Pressure Wash. That's James Adams Pressure Washing Company. You can call him at 386-566-0409. He will take care of you. If you need anything pressure washed, from gutters, soffits, your home, your mobile home, your pool deck, concrete, fencing, painting, sidewalks, it doesn't matter. He does it all. So like them on Facebook and give James Adams a call. Super Spray Pressure Wash. Of course, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series presented by AMS Roofing. That is one of the best tours in the state of Florida. A lot of the pro truck drivers are here, and it sounds like Monday nights here on VidaneTV. You can catch their new series, so stay tuned for more information on that. But that's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series. Follow them on Facebook, too, so you can know when they're going to be racing once again. And, of course, Edgewater Screen. That is our title sponsor here of the New Smyrna World Series of Esports. Edgewater Screen, you can call them at 386-428-8490. Now's a great time to take care of some of those home improvement products. Edgewater Screen will take care of you there. And we appreciate all of our sponsors coming on board. And thanks to Jesse Powers for throwing up a little bit of money to the winner tonight. And Wes, he got in the show, so he's got a chance to take home his own money.
The first step is getting in the show. Now it's what can you do in the show. So, and also, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, however you are watching us, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us out quite a bit. We love putting on these shows for you guys. And we do everything we can to put on the best show that we can for you. So if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and hit that like button. We're always putting up cool content for this series as well as other series, screenshots of our action, you name it. We tried to cover it all. And again, thank you to everybody that watches. Thank you to Edgewater Screens, all of our sponsors, and definitely keep an eye out on Mondays. Might be having something really, really fun coming up Monday nights. So.
That's right. And Wes, I want to thank you guys at VidaneTV for putting this on and giving me the chance to be a part of it. I'm definitely missing calling the rail races Saturday night at the new Smyrna Speedway. This is helping fill that void, and I'm impressed with how much action you guys have. Every now and then I pop in and check out some of the races, even though you might not see me on there. I watch a lot of your stuff, and I'm impressed at the quality content you guys put out. So I appreciate you guys for doing this and providing all of this great on-demand entertainment. So guys, make sure you follow VidaneTV, like their Facebook. If you're, bored sitting around home during this quarantine, you can go watch all kinds of great racing. So we are ready to go here, Wes. Race number 2 in the World Series. Starting lineup popping up on your screen. Wes, take us through it.
All right, well, Patrick Thomas says on Facebook, he go 25, and that is his son, Tanner Thomas.
Absolutely.
Starting closer to the front. Kelly Cole says Leicester. Kelly Cole definitely, she's a Leicester fan, and it's hard not to be a Leicester fan sometimes. So, but understandably, up front is Eric Purcell in that 88 machine. He will be starting pole for us tonight. On the outside will be the 33 of Ryan Borgs. These guys got to move on without any issues. Starting third will be Ryan Matthews in the 51. The fourth being Joshua Hart in the 95, and I'm actually being paged right now, so I need to talk to an admin real quick.
All right, so Wes is going to take off here, and he'll be back with us for the start. Top 10 in qualifying earlier got locked in. They didn't have to race their way through the heats. We inverted the top 5, so the fastest car in qualifying was Bruce Bennett, I believe. And so watch the middle row, the top 10 anyways, as we get ready to go. Green flag racing here with Ryan Borgs 33 and Eric Purcell 88. They stack it up there on the inside lane. Looks like they're going to get away with it. And who's going to get away with the lead in turn 1? Oh, trouble around goes Purcell. Hart is collected. We got a bunch of them. Upside down is Sergi. Upside down is the 33 as well. A huge stack up in last week's winner and your current point leader. That's right, we do points in this series. We'll talk a lot more about that in the weeks to come. But Anthony Sergi, last week's winner, on his roof. I'm sure Paul in the trailer will have us a replay. But Paul, Anthony Sergi getting the worst of it, it looks like.
Yeah, man, most definitely. You saw the last part of that wreck there was Anthony Sergi limping away with a blown motor. Black smoke coming out of the back of that car. He is done for the evening. Going to be scored 25th in this race. Unfortunate event for the current points leader, Anthony Sergi. But we're going to take a look again here at the points, or at the replay, brought to you by College Hunks Moving Junk. And I'm telling you, I'm going to get real smooth with that one of these days. I'm going to start practicing it into my shoot job, but I digress.
You got 7 more weeks. You'll get it.
7 more weeks of practice makes perfect. But we'll take a look. As you can see, it looks like we're going to back it up here just a little bit here. You can see it looks like same deal as the Conti earlier on. The leader took the outside line, and the inside line didn't want to get that penalty for passing the leader before the start-finish line. So he didn't go right off the rip. The 51 slams on the back, the 08 slams, the 16 slams, kind of jacks everybody up on the inside line, but then the wreck actually starts up front again, and just everybody comes piling into it. You see the 20 of Anthony Sergi flips over a couple of cars there, the 47, the 35, the 4 is involved. A lot of cars tore up right there. We'll see if we can back this up one more time here to take a look exactly what happened up towards the front, because, man, that was a lot of calamity.
Yeah, it started up there with the 33, I believe.
Eric Purcell just turned Ryan Borgs going in the corner. It looked like he just didn't pin it down.
Yeah, and oh no, I don't see any contact there. It looks like the 33 just lost it on his own. Let me take one more look.
Maybe some net code then on the iRacing side of things?
It's possible, but I don't know. Just looking at the 33 car, you can see he's got a little bit of a wiggle there. There's there is some contact with the inside car. The 88, well, that's kind of hard to call. But
either way, that was
If there was contact, that would definitely tell the story. But if not, it could have just been a little wiggle going down into the corner, maybe not being 100% sure if someone was down on his inside and the car just came around. But, man, it caused a big wreck, and you hate to see the fast cars up near the front get torn up on lap 1.
Long season, though, and these guys know that, as we see. Bruce Bennett actually is getting a wave around. The reason being is Bruce Bennett fell out of the server right at the start of it, got right back in right at the last second. So because of that, he is the lucky dog car. So Bruce Bennett getting around, going to get a wave around. So up front now, we got a different show. Ryan Matthews in the 51. Next to him will be Nick Noggle in the 08. That's an interesting front row. Here we go. We are back green, lap 6 going on to 7 here in Smyrna.
Boy, Ryan Matthews looking like Justin Bonsignor there on that start in that 51. Pulling away with the lead, Nicholas Noggle out of Canada into second. And don't look now, but here comes Jason Lester in the 7. Lester had to race his way in through the heats, and here we go, lap 7, already into the top 3. And Wes, I think we're going to see, whoa, we got a big one.
57, oh man, gets turned, oh boy.
Tumanello Powers involved, and Paul, get those fingers ready, buddy. It's going to be another busy night down on the trailer for you.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard that, I'd have at least 5 cents tonight.
Well, now 10. Here's 10 cents for you.
So we're going to back this up and take a look, see exactly what went down there. Man, it's crazy with these open wheel tour modified cars. You can't really touch tires or anything like that, because as soon as you do that, they kind of spin right around. And we're gonna see just that here. The College Hunks instant replay here, and you see the 56 to 57 side by side, and they wanted the same piece of real estate at the same time. Not gonna happen. Big plume of black smoke coming out of the 57 machine, so it looks like he may not have expired that motor, but definitely caused some big damage. So I don't think he's going to be up to speed. You see the 25 car was able to kind of slow up. Doesn't look like he got any of that. Just got to take a look, maybe taking a couple of Snapchat pictures to send off to his followers there. But man, tough break for the 57.
They must be teammates. He's over there getting pictures to send to the crew to see if they can get it fixed.
Well, they can head on it with a couple of virtual hammers, but they can't actually put tires on it. So we'll see what they can come up with.
I'm glad you bring that up, Paul, because that's something we should touch on. Tires going to be a big factor. We talked to some of the drivers here earlier, if you've been with us, and they did talk about tire wear, tire conservation. So if you abuse the tires early, if you get in wrecks like this, it's really going to heat those tires up and hurt you in the long run. So good point.
And that's one of those things, too. All week long, these guys have been running practice races. And for the most part, Wes usually sets them up half distance for the practice races. So 50-lap practice races throughout the week. And essentially what we were noticing was towards the end of each of those races, the cars would get really hard to control, really out of whack, because the tires get so worn, so hot, they get a lot of debris on them. And, not being able to change your tires here at New Smyrna after 100 laps, it really shows, it kind of separates the men from the boys almost. It lets you know who's going to be able to control that car with a really sketchy tire setup underneath it.
Absolutely. So right now, folks, if you do not see your favorite driver up near the front, hang in there. They have plenty of time to get up there. See a little bit of damage there on the 08 of Nicholas Noggle, your second place car. That front Nerf bar, a little bit bent up there. These modifieds, they don't have as much obvious damage to them as maybe the street stocks did last week, but you can see a little bit there on the front. Here's a good shot of it on the 08 Nicholas Noggle, that front Nerf bar. He's nerfed somebody already tonight, and probably won't be the last time he does that. But up front right now, Ryan Matthews, one of the contenders each and every week, won the Esports 100 in the Super Late model. So Ryan Matthews struggled, admittedly, with the street stock a week ago. Said he's looking forward to these tour mods as he leads, and he's really good with the late models. So the rest of the field might be in trouble the next couple of weeks.
All right, we're going to see the Daytona Dodge Pace Truck head its way back down into 3 and 4. And Nick Noggle with a little bit of damage. Not sure how much that's really going to cause an issue, though, but we shall see. And the green is out, and Ryan Matthews gets the jump that he wanted. He's able to clear him. Going down in a 1 and 2 as Lester's still looking low. Trying to get that third position from Blake Clouser. Coming out of 2, not able to do so. He settles in 4th.
Boy, Blake Clouser in the 9, great restart. He was very fast in qualifying. Oh, Devon Mcleod hit on the inside wall in the 21. Quickly gets it righted, but the caution going to come out again here, Wes. Big one for Devon Mcleod.
Yeah, Devon Mcleod, just a victim there, man. And it doesn't take much to total out these cars. He had the car. He had a heck of a save last week, but had the car that was, I believe, below him. He in the 21, and then the 07 was below him, and just kind of went up the track just a littlest bit. That's the thing about these cars. You really can't make contact like that. But Dylan Martin sends him around.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the instant replay, and I actually want to freeze frame on this shot just to kind of show you what's going on in the track, and then we're going to take a look from the inside of the 21 of Devon Mcleod's car, his modified here, just to show you how big of a hit this was. We'll give it to you in real time as they head on down into turn number 3 rather. Just gets a little bit of a tap, and wham, right in the outside wall. You can hear that that banging noise. That was the sound of that motor blowing up. 21 is all done. You can see he's trying to coast down here in the front stretch. Nothing really happened, and that motor is done. That car is done. That driver is done.
Done is an understatement. Man, oh man, they're just dropping like flies right now. You know, you can only do so much out here. There's not a lot of room, I'll tell you that. And this is going to happen in these open wheel cars. But in all honesty, there is a little bit more room than what you would think. This is a big track, but when it comes to the racing room, when you get up there too high, you get up in the marbles, you're going to find yourself in the wall. So it's a line that you flirt with when you're on the outside there.
Absolutely. And Wes, we've seen a rash of cautions here early. The heat races were probably some of the best I've ever seen with the iRacing. And I think this is a classic case of we got to thin things out just a little bit. And then I think we'll get into a rhythm, kind of like we saw last week with the street stocks. We had some really good green flag racing. And I think the tough thing is going to be getting by this 51 of Ryan Matthews. That's going to be the tough thing to do. He knows his way around this track by now, and he knows his way with these cars as well. So Ryan Matthews is going to be strong. Good run for Nicholas Noggle, but I'm not going to count out Blake Clauser, and I hope I don't jinx him now. I was just talking about him when Devon Mcleod went around, but Blake Clauser, the son of late model driver Rich Clauser, has a lot of experience here. Very good in qualifying, just now showing his hand here. He could be one to watch. I think he's the sleeper tonight. And if he can get up there, he'll battle with Ryan Matthews. But, Wes, I think we just got to thin this out a little bit, and then we'll get into a rhythm.
It's typically what you see. You see you see everything starting to thin out a little bit, and then you start to get into a rhythm. So I think we're going to see that as we're going to see him double up with 1 to go here. We're going to get rocking and rolling. We are on lap 20, 20 of 100, and of course, most of these laps have been ran under caution so far. So. Right now, Anthony Sergi says he has 30 minutes of repairs left, so he's still
all right. So the way it's going, he'll get out there by lap 50, and then maybe he can make up 50 laps and pull a Bill Elliott and surprise us all. Yo, that's true. He is points racing. I forgot that's the thing. Here we go. Back to green with Ryan Matthews in the 51. Another great restart. Wes, he is the king of restarts, it appears.
He is in the battle now between Lester!
Oh, and
boy.
Lester's in trouble. He's done.
Oh,
and
boy.
the 12's in it. Oh, man. And they're piling in behind it, too. There are arc brakes going on the backstretch.
All right, and getting word that single file starts we're going to be doing now. The restart has gone to single file since they're not able to get it done. Double file, they're going to go to single file until they can prove they can get it done.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Paul's working on getting the replay, so now he's up to about 20 cents here tonight. He's got a pocket full of nickels before this one's all over.
Yeah, you can see Lester just, man, it doesn't look like there's any contact between him and the car down low, the 9 car there of Clauser. We'll see, that damn trailer was in the way. But it looks like it might have been a little bit of a kiss. He shoots him up into the wall, the 119 gets into him, and then everybody else wants a piece of him. So definitely a tough break. You can see, again, like we saw earlier on tonight, black smoke coming out of the 12, black smoke coming out of the number 7. So those guys, they might sit down there and maybe have a couple of hot dogs or something down there with Anthony Sergi, see if they can get the cars repaired in time to get back out here for the rest of the event. As you can see, Lester just kind of pulls out in front of the leaders here. That was kind of sketchy. But, yeah, hopefully these guys can bang some hammers out and see about the points racing, see where they can finish up towards the end of the night.
But, Paul, I was kind of worried there that Jason Lester might be thinking, if I can't win, no one else is going to win.
No comment.
Let's hope not.
All right. Well, we're about a quarter of the way through this thing, and I feel like I hope you guys have been enjoying your caution laps here tonight. But once we get things thinned out, I'm going to keep preaching this because eventually it'll happen. A good call there by the admins to go single file. I think the admins have made a number of good calls so far in this race, especially with the Bruce Bennett situation. It's always good to when someone has a problem that's just out of their hands to at least let them back in and give them a shot. So kudos to our admins tonight, making things as fair as possible given the circumstances. And then going to single file here, I think, and I'm hoping that this will allow us to get some green flag racing, because I think we're going to see some good stuff once we get green. And maybe this is good for the tire wear, though, Wes. Maybe they won't have worn-out tires by the end of this thing.
And Bruce Bennett in the 60 is actually already up in the top 5 or top 6. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
issues. So he's bounced back without a problem.
So Bruce, I think he's going to be a-okay. He'll be a contender before this is all over with.
Yep. And the end of longest line penalty is going to Blake Clouser there, as well as the 7 of Jason Lester, which really doesn't matter because Jason Lester is in pit road. But it's one of the things here. If there's an incident and there's no clear aggressor, nobody gets the strike, so to say. But both drivers will be asked to go to the end of the longest line for bringing out the caution. So that's what you are seeing there. So we should be going back green here momentarily as you see the field starts to bunch up. And
Wes, real quick here, I got a note. Tanner Thomas in the 25. He's been starting at the back to avoid all this carnage. He is point racing to the max right now, so that's why the 25 hasn't really been up front. As we get ready to go back to green, I want to thank Patrick Thomas for the update there on his driver. So here we go, Wes, back to green. Let's see what we can do.
He's in the catbird seat, to be honest with you, right around the back. Let him come to you. This is going to be one of those things where you ride out around in the back, and all of a sudden you find yourself up front because everybody in front of you is wrecked out.
Now we're riding with him, and he's going to avoid the crashes this way and maybe save his tires a little bit. So expert strategy here is Tanner Thomas driving under his dad's name tonight. That's why it says Patrick Thomas there in the scoring. But Tanner Thomas is behind the wheel, and he's got Patrick Thomas coaching him, giving him the advice here through this modifieds. And it's funny, Patrick Thomas says he hates points racing, yet here he is giving Tanner all the tips to go points racing tonight. So Wes, we're getting some green flag racing in, though, it appears.
Well, we got a lot of money on the line at the end of this 9 weeks to the winner. We have 500 smackers on the line for the winner. So points racing is going to be coming a little important, especially this early in the season. You're seeing some hard hitters like Anthony Sergi, Jason Lester, Ryan Borgs, guys that are further up in the points, dropping out of this race early. It's finally we're seeing some green flag racing. This is that opportunity to gain the points on them.
Yep, we're getting that green flag racing, but still this gaggle of cars as we're watching here, and there goes Bruce Bennett launching into outer space. We are here on the east coast of Florida. It's space country, and we got cars launching into the atmosphere here tonight, unfortunately. Another big wreck, and I think I caught that out of the corner of my eye. I think it's Bruce Bennett that went launching into orbit.
Yep, that was Bruce Bennett. It looks like he made a little bit of contact with the 119 is who Bruce got ended up getting with, as Paul is going to get us the replay. Kevin Macy just kind of pinching him down there. And again, these guys were told in the driver's meeting, if you're going to pinch someone down the track in these cars, there's going to be consequences. And you see the consequences there. And he didn't give the room that he probably should have gave him. And because of that, both drivers go for a ride there.
Yeah, go for a ride is right. Whew. And all right, as Paul gets this ready here in the production truck, I want you folks to comment, all of you guys watching live, comment below how many cars do you think are actually going to finish this thing?
I'm going with 9.
At least 1.
I like that bet. Give Paul another nickel.
Yes. Yeah, we brought that replay up, and man, it was another one of those deals. It's just a couple guys looking for the same piece of real estate. Looks like Bruce Bennett took the biggest hit out of that because you actually heard the motor. You heard the motor grenade as he was coming back down. So I don't know if he was on the loud pedal while he was up in the air and just over revving that machine, but that motor's done. So he's down on pit road. They're going to see what they can do with it. Maybe get a little bit of points racing in the second half of this event, but tough break for the 60.
Wes, I think now's a good time to check in with Sergi and see where his repairs are at, because at this point, he's not out of the top 10.
He really is not, and I believe Patrick Thomas says he believes 4 cars are going to finish this race. 4, and
Oh
man,
my God.
this is such a different aspect than last week. Last week we saw some great green flag racing.
We really did. We had those wrecks, but like you said, we got some great racing, and we got into a little bit of a rhythm there. So single file restarts, I think, need to continue.
I absolutely agree. I believe we're going to be keeping them single file as well, possibly here on out. But again, we are here. We are brought to you by Edgewater Screens. They're helping this go on here tonight and giving these drivers something to race for. What's that pressure washing company by the wonderful James Adams?
Super Spray Pressure Wash. That's his company there. You can call them at 386-566-0409 for all your pressure washing needs. I mean, come on, guys. Right now, what else do we have to do besides working on our house? So between Edgewater Screen and Super Spray Pressure Washing, they'll help you tackle some of those tough projects. Of course, we got to thank Sunshine State Racing. Follow them for all your racing needs here in the state of Florida. Again, right now, everything's so crazy. Everybody's trying to get back up and running, and we're all fighting an uphill battle to do so. So make sure you follow Sunshine State Racing. I know as soon as New Smyrna is able to go back racing, you'll find info about it there as well. So that's Sunshine State Racing. Follow them on Facebook. And, of course, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Florida Pro Truck Challenge Series has come on board. As sounds like to me, Wes, that you guys might be busy on Monday nights now with their own esports series, but we got to thank them for coming on board. That is a great series, and looks like we're getting back to green flag racing here, Wes.
And we are back to single file starts here. Let these guys get spread out a little bit, try to get some green flag racing in here, get into some kind of rhythm. As the 57 further back is able to make a pass of Bray Holmes. He's working on Eugene Tuminello further back in the field, trying to get the 7th position. Or the 8th position, I'm sorry, and he's able to do so from Eugene. That's your only battle, and right now, the 88 of Purcell works low on Jeffrey Gabault. He's able to make that pass. We saw Purcell in a little bit of drama to start off in this race.
Yeah, I think about only our top 4 or 5 haven't had any kind of drama. That's been the name of the game so far, is getting under the single file restart. We're getting a little bit of good racing going on now. It's the 16 battles with Gabault's number 92. That's 16 reminiscent of Timmy Salamito's real life modified. So that's Nick Snyder driving that machine here tonight. Nick having a quiet night, but staying out of trouble and in position to perhaps tackle a good finish.
And this is what Ryan Stevens wants to see. He wants to see this green flag racing, and now we got a battle further back for 4th. We got, the 16 of Snyder battling back and forth with Jeffrey Gabault, able to hold on to that position as they barrel it down into 3 and 4. Good. Now I believe it's going to be start to be the time you're going to start to see some of that tire fall off. Who's going to be able to really manage their tires and their tire wear throughout the next half of this race?
Yeah, I mean, that's really going to be the key, I believe, last 15, 20 laps of this race. Right now, with all the cautions, if you stayed out of trouble, I think your tires are still pretty good. But again, tire management, you got to keep it under control for 100 laps. They've had 50-lap practice races, so after lap 50, maybe some of these guys won't even know what they have underneath them. So that could be interesting. But what we have now, Wes, is a classic gaggle of cars. We got about 6 of them here running bumper to bumper, almost 3 wide here down the front straight away. This is the eye of the storm, as we like to call it. So that's where the action could heat up, but it's all behind Ryan Matthews right now. He's got a 1.2 second lead over Nicholas Noggle and Eric Purcell. So Ryan Matthews kind of, I don't even know how he got out in front. I think he escaped that big wreck at the beginning, and then he's never looked back.
Yeah, and you have Bray Holmes. He's in the 57. He's actually in 15th right now. He's in 15th. He's in the middle of the lead back here. And I believe he's going to be several laps down in that 57. He's on lap 27 right now. The leaders are on lap 47. So he's 20 laps down, just trying to log some laps, get some laps in, and basically points race. And speaking of points racing, let's check up on our points racing driver. That Patrick Thomas ride has broken into the top 10 and working on more now.
Yeah, there's Tanner. Very interesting paint scheme. Looks like the Eddie Partridge number 6 that we see at New Smyrna with Ryan Priest behind the wheel, the Cup Series driver. So pretty cool paint scheme there for Tanner. And he's doing exactly what he needs to do here tonight in that 25, creeping into the top 10, having a good run.
as he picks up that 9th position. And Patrick Thomas says that that winning money, if he's able to win the championship after the 9 weeks, will go towards a new set of tires for the race car. Or he says at least that's what a new set will cost typically on a Sportsman or something like that. So I'm sure if his son won that, Patrick might be like, hey, help your dad out here. But nonetheless, Tanner doing a wonderful job out here, doing exactly what he needs to do, and that's stay out of trouble.
Yeah, Patrick might say, hey, Tanner, you can get yourself one new baseball glove, and the rest of it goes to tires.
There you go. Give and take, give and take. Ryan, we're finally getting what we wanted to see, though. We are seeing some green flag action finally, but with this, keep an eye, especially on cars like the 33 of Ryan Borgs. These cars are getting super loose on exit. Ryan Borgs was getting a little loose on exit for a couple laps there. Maybe he's gotten it back upright and going. But these cars are getting super loose on exit as these tires start to wear. The handling goes out on these cars pretty quickly once the heat cycle begins and goes through, and we get some long green flag laps into it, which is what we're seeing so far.
Yeah, and we saw that handling issue there with Bray Holmes in the 57 just about a lap ago, as Borgs, who started up near the front, remember at the beginning of this race, he was the one backwards and causing that big wreck, and here he goes battling Jeffrey Gabalt's number 92 for the top 5 position. So, a little bit of contact there. The 92, 33, I'd say trading paint, but it looked like they traded tire rubber that time up on turn number 4. As don't count out Ryan Borgs now. I told you the Ryans would be good tonight, Wes.
Ryan Borgs, even with the issue earlier in the race, able to work his way up through here as he got that car back dialed in. And with everything that's been happening in this race, he's able to get his damage fixed and get where he needs to be. And he's done a wonderful job doing that. Great recovery by him in that 33. But behind him, you got Jeffrey Gabalt. He is in the 92. And then you have a Blake Clouser, young Blake Clouser, doing a great job here. A little bit of an incident earlier that sent him back in the pack, but he is now currently lined up in the 13th position, only on lap 37, so he's about 20 laps down as well. So a couple guys out here just trying to salvage a finish here, Ryan.
Yeah, and at this point, if you're still running, you're going to salvage a good finish. And hopefully we don't jinx them, because we're getting some laps in here. And we're starting to see some of these guys that had the problems earlier get their way back up into the field. And Wes, I got to ask you, who are you most surprised with out of the top 3, Matthews, Noggle, and Purcell?
I'm going to have to say Purcell, just because that lap 1 incident, Purcell did get a little bit of damage there, but he's done one heck of a job to keep it up there. But if I had to say, disregarding all of that, as we see Purcell get a little tight coming off.
Going to lose perhaps that spot to the 16 of Snyder now.
I would like to say Nick Noggle, but Nick Noggle is known to be a great race car driver out of Canada there. So it's hard to say any of these guys are surprising me right now.
Nick Noggle, to me, is the surprise because we're racing tour mods. Nick, in that 08, very good late model driver, actually picked up his first New Smyrna win during the World Series back in February this year, the actual World Series, and now having a great night, running second behind Ryan Matthews, who's kind of, if it wasn't for the street stocks, I don't know if anybody would beat Ryan Matthews in this series.
Yep, but I'll tell you what, these guys are learning from him. Your guys that have been running for points have been learning from him, and they might be picking up a thing or two from him. We know that he loves the supers as well, so I know he's looking forward to next week. So Ryan Matthews in the catbird seat right now, leading the way, but for how long? Because you're going to have guys like Nick Noggle that continue to show up and learn a thing or two for him, and eventually the competition may catch up to you.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, we're looking good now with Ryan Matthews with a 1.6 second lead here up at the front. Things have thinned out. The single file restart's definitely helping things right now, but we all know what's going to happen. There's going to be a late race caution, one way or another. It's going to happen, and if not, I'll give Paul another nickel. But the late race caution, it's probably going to happen, and that's going to bunch things up, and we may see the bump and run. They're probably going to, they can see that Matthews is the guy to beat, and they'll have to change up their tactics to get around him. So keep your eye on that. Right now, we're just riding. We're getting some laps in here, Wes, and I think everybody's realized that. We've calmed down just a little bit. We've only got 10 cars on the lead lap, so They've calmed down. We're getting on things, so.
All right, and in the wall is the 88. The 88 has hit the wall of Purcell in third place. That opens up the door now. And oh, he gets through the wall again. The 88 is hard into the wall, trying to get it back up and going, oh, we got a wreck. Big
Blake Clouder, Blake Holmes. Oh, man, it was so good for so long. You know, Wes, you jinxed him, buddy. You jinxed the 88. He was having a great run, and you jinxed him. That's on you.
Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. The 88, he was trying to stay out of the way. You could see he was doing his best to stay out of the way. He was up against the wall almost, and then just three cars going for the same real estate. The 88 hit that wall, and that's what all started it. But tough break. Bray Holmes already multiple laps down. Blake Clouser already multiple laps down, and man, tough break.
Yeah, you can see here the 88 just trying to bide some time and save a little bit of tires and be out of the way. And it looks like it's just a side-by-side battle between the 57 and the 9. They just barely touch. The 57 gets into the 9 and sends all three of them up into the wall. And you can see more of that black smoke pouring out of the motors of those race cars. So tough breaks for those guys. Those guys are done. I don't think there's going to be 30 laps to go. I don't think there's enough time to get those machines fixed. The 88's done. The 9's done. 57 looked like he was done. So tough break for these guys for sure.
Oh, hey, there's 3 more spots for Tanner Thomas anyway.
Exactly. We actually have Nick Noggle in the booth. You got us, Nicholas?
What are you guys saying about me?
Hey, we're here.
All kinds of bad things. All kinds of bad things, Nicholas.
Yeah, I can hear it all.
We got you here in the booth, buddy. One of the lone Canadians left in this race. You're watching Ryan Matthews up there in the lead. What's it going to take to run that man down?
I've just been sitting back here kind of saving tires. Had to get on it a little bit when they started creeping up on me, but I honestly was looking for this caution. Hopefully stay with him this run, and I figure he'll fall off a little quicker than we will.
With this tire wear, how much is it affecting you and being able to run as hard as you were earlier? How much is these tires actually wearing out now that you got that great green flag running?
Honestly, I haven't noticed that much fall off on the tire, but I feel as though that has to do a lot with saving on it. I mean, I'm not too concerned about it. I think that they're going to stay pretty consistent for the rest of the run now. I think if I would have went a little harder earlier, then it would have done us bad, but I honestly do feel there's enough tire left to race.
Nicholas, I gotta ask you. Ryan's one of the best there is on restarts. What do you have to do to size him up and get the advantage from him, since he's just been so good when he's up front?
I don't know. That's a hard question, especially starting down here on the low side. There's not much you can really do to keep up with that first place car. Even if you get the jump on them, they almost slingshot past you coming off the corner.
Will you use the bumper if it comes down to it?
We're all racing for a win. I don't want to say yes, but I'm not going to say no either.
That is the answer I expected. True racer right there.
We'll put him back in his room. Good luck, buddy, and hopefully we'll talk to you later.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was Nicholas Noggle. We just put him back up there as we are about to go back to green flag race, and we're going to allow him to focus on keeping up with Ryan Matthews as there they go. The start is off, and that's the start that he wanted. Ryan Matthews has to pass the line first as the leader, but he did exactly what he had to do. He shot
West,
for him.
Nicholas gave him everything he could right there and did everything he could to not jump it, but there you go. White number 51, Ryan Matthews, back in the lead. And here comes that 16. Snyder getting into the mix, and the other Ryan Borgs, who we've talked so much about, making that comeback up into 4th spot, Wes. Great recovery for the 33 team tonight.
Talk about points racing. He's doing a heck of a job of it out there as Ryan Matthews leads the field here. But that 33 of Ryan Borgs, we saw him in a hard accident lap 1, turn 2, and here he is in the top 5, and it's kind of been a process of elimination. We're seeing other guys that's running great. Tanner Thomas, we spoke about again. He just moved around to the 7th position now as Tanner in that 25. It's time to go. I don't think you can really ride around unless you're completely committed to it, Ryan. At this point, if you're riding around, you're doing that to lap 100.
Well, eventually you got to get to a point where you're just ready to go. And we don't know what that point is for Tanner. Maybe he feels like there's a rash of cautions coming at the end of it. But it's kind of like at Talladega. If you fall to the back to stay out of trouble, but if you don't get going eventually, you're never going to catch the draft. So that's the balance Tanner has to play right now, is when do I actually go here and how much longer do I just ride around? So we'll have to watch that story. We've kind of been following it throughout the night. It's been an interesting story. If we didn't get that note about the points racing thing, maybe we would just think, well, he's not up to speed tonight, but he's just doing what he has to do. He's running his own races, they would say.
And, I really just want to butt in real quick as we're running on board with Thomas in the 25 right now, because we've done it a couple of times throughout the night, and man, he is on the wheel right now. He's found his rhythm. He just made quick work of the 35. He passed Eugene like he was standing still. He saved those tires for the first half of the race, absolutely, because when we checked in with him earlier, you saw it. Real slow, real methodical. They're just barely squealing the tires, and you can see as we're riding on board right now, that 92 machine getting bigger and bigger and closer and closer. Thomas is going to be my pick to win this race tonight.
All right, so it's go time. According to Paul, it's go time for Tanner. Less than 20 laps to go, so I think it honestly is go time. His coach will probably let him know, hey, you got 20 to go. Get what you can. Keep the, I'd say keep the fenders on them, but there's no fenders on these cars. Just keep the car clean and go get what you can. And, boy, the Thomas family becoming points racers. How interesting is that?
Yeah, right. And he's actually, in the 08 of Noggle into the wall in the backstretch. Opened up the door for the 33 of Borgs. Noggle got tight coming off the corner. He opened up the door for Borgs. They're side by side heading down the front stretch.
Boy, oh boy. It's starting to change at the front, and here comes Ryan Borgs and Noggle in the wall again. Oh boy. Okay, so here we go, Wes. This could be a product to somebody who's used up their stuff. Nicholas said he was just sitting back there riding, but, they say one thing, we don't really know. And maybe we're starting to see it now. The 08 has faded back to fourth. So Nicholas Noggle, that car just becoming a handful for him. And now, Wes, Ryan versus Ryan. Once again, Ryan Matthews, Ryan Borgs. We talked about them before we went racing tonight. We knew they were going to be good, and here they are. If we get a late race caution, which I guaranteed is going to happen earlier, and I'm still sticking to that. We're going to have Ryan versus Ryan, I believe.
We have a Legends racer up front. Behind him, a karting racer in second place. Both these guys with a lot of real racing background as well as iRacing background. They're both veterans here on the iRacing spectrum as well as a real life spectrum. So back to the 25. Well, that's kind of calmed down. The 25, Tanner Thomas now trying to work his way around Jeffrey Gabalt. He's all over Gabalt's bumper, and he's going to look low here, and he shouldn't have too much of a issue getting around him, but nope. Gabalt able to battle back on the outside, heading down into 3. Can Tanner clear him? He cannot. Tanner not able to get the control on that car like he wants in the middle of the corner, and it shows.
But some great side-by-side racing here, and this is what we expected to see here tonight. Tanner Thomas working on the Jeffrey Gabalt machine. Oh, Tanner almost got to the back of Jeffrey that time. That could have been bad for both drivers. And they continue on. Gabalt, the 92, continues to hang on to that position. As it says Patrick Thomas on the screen, but that is Tanner Thomas behind the wheel for Patrick Thomas here tonight. Tanner continuing to work him over. Classic points racing tonight. Every spot going to mean a lot. The points really going to flip-flop quite a lot tonight, Wes, with Anthony Sergi currently in the 23rd position. Ryan Matthews did not have the best night in the street stocks, as we see Sergi still. He's running out of time, though, to get those repairs made. I think it's going to be a lost cause for the 20 tonight. Your winner from a week ago in the street stock competition. But Ryan Matthews, I believe, finished 10th last week. Should catapult him right up into the thick of the points race. So, Wes, here we go. Less than 10 to go. Matthews with a 2-second lead. It's going to take another caution for Ryan Borgs to get up there to have a chance. And I guaranteed it, and I hope I don't make myself look foolish here.
I don't know. And now Gabalt turns Tanner. I was just going to say.
There it is.
I was just going to say, I don't know if we're going to get another one, but there it is. Tanner.
Oh, and he's upside down. Tanner Thomas. His perfect strategy, yep, it's gone upside down. And there it is. There's the caution. So I knew exactly what I was talking about 50 laps ago. I've seen enough of these to know. And here we go, Wes. It's Ryan versus Ryan time.
Boy, oh boy, Paul's going to get that from us. But man, oh man, it looked like Tanner just came off the corner. He came up the track just a little bit and then just kind of stayed stationary, and just a little bit of a bump from the 92 sent him around. So, oh man, that was a rough one. That was a rough one.
Paul, take us through it. What'd you see?
Yeah, tough break for Thomas, man. He was just trying to get into the top 5. We're going to take a look here, riding side by side, Thomas down low, and he comes up high just a little bit of a tap, sends him on his roof, sparks flying, spinning around like a top. Man, that's not the way that car's supposed to go. The shiny spark's supposed to go up, and the rubbers go on the ground, and then you're supposed to send it on down into the turn. But man, that's a heartbreak for Tanner Thomas. Definitely had a great strategy, best strategy out there tonight. Worked his way up from about 15th all the way up to just about the top 5 to get sent into the wall like that. So that's a tough break. You can see already he's on pit road right now, 3 laps down. May be able to come back out and finish up in the top 10. Actually, yeah, he is going to finish in the top 10 because he's got a 6-lap cushion between him and 10th with only 5 laps to go. So still not a bad points night, but tough break. Definitely think there was more in the tank for Tanner Thomas in that 25 car.
Well, that strategy worked perfectly for 94 laps, and he was en route to a great, 5th, 6th place finish tonight. But here's the good news for Tanner. There's not a whole lot of cars left, so it's like Paul just said, he's still most likely going to end up with a top 10 here tonight. So still, the points are going to fall pretty well, and if he continues to race with that mindset, I think he's going to be all right. And I think we have someone joining us up here in the booth.
We do. We got Ryan Borgs. Ryan, you got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Man, a lot of drama to start off this race in lap 1, turn 2, and you find yourself again sitting 2nd place to Ryan Matthews. It's a similar look for you. I feel like you're so used to seeing his rear bumper. You got what it takes to get it done tonight.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I had a little bit of, somehow I only had a little bit of damage when I rolled the car, which I guess that's just iRacing. Sometimes you get really lucky.
iRacing.
Yeah. But luckily I was able to save tires earlier on in the race when I was a few laps down, just trying to ride around, get the lucky dog, and get back within contention. And with all the wrecks that played out and the green flag stretch there and whatnot, I was able to get all the way back up to 2nd. And I don't know if I have anything for Ryan. He's really fast as is, but we'll see.
All right, buddy, you're about to line up for a green-white checker. Good luck. Keep her clean. Hopefully we'll talk to you here in the podium. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ryan Borgs. Ryan Borgs has done one hell of a job so far tonight.
Yeah,
Great recovery.
he really has. From rolling that car, now up with a chance to win it in 2nd. Wes, we're getting ready to go. 3 laps to go, and there, master the restarts. Ryan Matthews,
Oh boy,
the lead.
Oh boy, 3 wide. Oh man.
Is it gonna work? Is it gonna? They made it stick. Unbelievable.
Hard racing down into 3 and 4. This is coming to the white flag. The white flag is out. 1 to go for Ryan Matthews. The battle is for 2nd, 3rd, 4th on back. Ryan Borgs puts the bumper to the 08 of Noggle. He looks low. He wants that 3rd position. He gets his nose under there. He slides up. They make contact. Noggle goes around. They're wrecking. Ryan Matthews wins as they wreck across the line.
Well, that's the finish we expected. Boy, Nicholas Noggle ran 2nd, 3rd most of the night. Gonna wind up around 7th. A wild finish, but Wes, no match for Ryan Matthews here tonight.
Ryan Matthews getting it done one more time here at New Smyrna Speedway as the top 3 line on up. Man, oh man, oh man, what a race. He's going to burn it down here for us, Ryan.
Well, he deserves to. He was the dominant force tonight, as we kind of expected, and he's going to be tough to beat throughout these 9 nights. But, I got to give a shout-out to Nick Snyder. He did a great job taking advantage of whatever he could there on that restart to come home 2nd. Ryan Borgs rounds out the top 3. Of course, he was in that tough battle with Nicholas Noggle, and Nicholas Noggle gets sent all the way back to 7th, and there you see it up on your screen. Tanner Thomas does come home in 9th, so despite the wreck, still gets a top 10. Only 8 drivers on the lead lap here tonight, a wild one here at the New Smyrna Speedway.
It was, and we're going to get some interviews out of the way here. Your final lineup, man. What a race, Ryan. That's basically all I have to say right now. After that is it didn't start out pretty. But these guys got some laps in. Your winner, of course, being Ryan Matthews. Nick Snyder finishing second. Ryan Borg third. Fourth, Jeffrey Gabal. Jeffrey Gabal started 21st and finished fourth. He's going to be our hard charger. We're going to grab a word with him. Cody Pitts started 18th, finished fifth. And then also starting 25th was Eugene Tuminello, finishes sixth. Great job by those guys. Nick Noggle will finish seventh, which is exactly where he started. And then eighth will be Kyle Pitts. Then we followed back to the drivers that were not able to finish on the lead lap. They got issues. Ninth, Patrick Thomas. Tanner Thomas, I'm sorry. 10th, Kevin Macy. And that is your top 10. And Paul can give you the rundown on the rest of it, though. But man, oh man, what an eventful race.
It was eventful from second on back. You just saw it up on your screen. 98 laps led tonight for Ryan Matthews. We talked to him last week and wasn't real keen on the street stocks and said he'd be better with these modifieds. And we already know, if you watch the Esports 100, what he can do in its super late models. So the street stocks might be the great equalizer here in this series. Ryan Matthews, though, parking it in victory lane, and Nick Snyder having a little bit of fun with them here. But yeah, dominating performance for Ryan Matthews. It was all happening in his rear view mirror tonight, and there was a lot of great action. And next week we have the super late models to look forward to.
A lot of cars on the roof tonight. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with third place tonight, and I believe that was Ryan Borgs. All right. We just talked to Ryan, and now we got him back. Ryan Stevens is with Ryan Borgs, third place tonight.
Well, Ryan, it didn't wind up as a win for you, but third place, pretty good. Tell us about that battle there coming to the checkers with Nicholas Noggle. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know what exactly happened on the restart. I didn't even spin the tire. I didn't think I got a bad jump or I spun the tires. I think looking back at it, I must have just accidentally tapped my brake pedal a tiny bit, so that kind of screwed me up a little bit. I didn't even think I did that, but must have. Anyways, there's only 7 or 8 cars on the lead lap, and after being, I think, 3 or 4 laps down at one point and 20, probably dead last at one point, coming all the way back up to second, I was like, you know what, if I get into him here and rough him up and he spins out and I get sent to the rear, I mean, I'm not going to be that upset at that point. So I really wanted that podium spot. I had a good run on him. I knew I was faster than him and just kind of sent it into 3. And he gave me room and I barely touched him, but for some reason these cars are really sensitive on iRacing. I kind of got him squirrely. So sorry that he ended up, I think, 6th or 7th, but I was just going for it last lap.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do here in these races. Coming to the last corner, last lap. No one's going to give. He didn't want to give to you. You didn't want to give to him. You wanted that podium spot. And what a recovery for you tonight. I mean, you had a great starting position, and then you're upside down, turn 1, lap 1. I bet you didn't think when you were upside down that you'd be sitting on the podium tonight.
I was expecting my night to be basically over at that point. But once I got the tow and I got in the pits, I'm like, wow, I only have like 25 seconds of optional damage. That's kind of cool. So it was early in the race. I just kind of sat back behind everything, let everything play out. Luckily, I was in the lucky dog position, I think 3 or 4 cautions in a row, and just kept my car clean, tried to keep the tires as fresh as possible. And then once I got back in the lead lap, I was kind of going for it. And even so, even after Matthews led the whole time and I was saving tires, I still don't think I had anything for him. But it was definitely a challenge coming back through the field. It was fun, not something I'd want to do preferably, but it's cool to finish 3rd after that.
Oh, you definitely made it fun to watch here tonight, and congratulations on a great recovery. That right there, folks, is why you never give up. Ryan, go ahead and give any shout-outs, give any love you have here tonight.
Got to thank RPM Motorsports, also the Northern Senior Champ Kart Series, also Stafford Speedway. They've been putting on modified races as well, so I was hoping I could do a little better in these cars because they have all their Friday night shows up in they're based out of Connecticut, and they've been having a big E-Series with these, so with all the time I've spent in these, I was hoping I could challenge Matthews a little better, but I guess not tonight. Also got to thank Vidane, you guys, New Smyrna and Vidane, for putting the show on, and looking forward to next week.
All right, well, got to switch over to the super late model, but congratulations, great run for you tonight.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ryan Borgs. Next up will be second place, Nick Snyder. Nick, do you got a copy?
Yeah.
Nick, a calamity type race here for you, Mr. Snyder. However, you were able to keep the nose clean in that beautiful 16 ride, and you were able to bring home the second place finish. Tell us how you got it done.
My intentions were just riding at the beginning. I caught up in a little incident there on, I think, lap 2. I came down in the pits and got the repairs done, and kind of just rode around and let all the wrecks happen, and was just fortunate enough to miss all of them.
Now, I understand with how many cautions there is, that has to be so frustrating because you want to get in that rhythm, you want to get going, but caution after caution. But as the field started to thin out, you were able to get into that long green flag run. How was the tire wear through that?
The whole race I was saving, until like 20 to go is when I started really pushing it. Just other than that, it was just saving until lap 80.
Now, when at that green-white checker there, you saw Borgs battling it out with Stevens that gets on the restart, and you guys go 3 wide going into turn 1. Did you think that was going to work?
I didn't think it was going to work. I saw Ryan back the corner, so I knew I could slide up a little bit and get the bottom entry coming off of 2 and give me a good run, and hope I could have something for Ryan. But no, I didn't think going 3 wide probably wasn't the smartest, but Ryan also didn't go. I gave him a bump, and he wasn't going, so I just decided to take a 3 wide and just hopefully it sticks.
All right, and anybody you would like to thank here tonight that might be watching? Any real life sponsors you may have, friends, family?
Real life sponsors: Atlantic Powder Coating, Walter Arnold Bucket, J&J Chassis, Smith Titanium, Z-Max, One Way Technologies. Just everyone that helps me out in the real world.
All right, and tell us a little bit, what real racing do you do and where are you from?
I'm from Naples, Florida. I raced 360 sprint cars with the USCS National Tour. We have a race on the 15th in Southern.
Sounds good. Well, we will be rooting you on if we can watch that online. But nonetheless, Nick, awesome job tonight, man, and we hope to see you back again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for putting on a good show. Hopefully we put on a good show for all the fans that were watching as well.
You sure did. It's action-packed as usual. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Nick Snyder, and Ryan Stevens is with our winner, Ryan Matthews.
What's up?
Ryan, you've done it again, man, and another dominating performance. And just like you said last week, you're ready to get back into these modifieds, and you did it, man. You led 98 laps. Another dominating run for you.
Yeah, first restart. I wasn't planning it to be that easy for me, but we started third. It's pretty hard to pass here, so I was kind of just planning on riding and saving my tires and making moves the last 20 laps or so. But the top 2 wrecked each other the first turn, so that gave me the lead. And then pretty much from lap 2 to lap 90, I was just going 50%, just saving my tires, and just keeping a good pace between me and second.
Now, I got to ask you, this race, of course, came down to a late race shootout. Were you expecting that? Were you saving something for the end of this race, expecting there to be a late race caution putting the competition on your tail?
Not really. Last 10 laps, I was kind of going all out, but I knew I still had enough for green light checkered if there was one, and all I needed was a good restart, and just did that. Hung on for the one.
Oh, that you absolutely did, and we knew you're going to be tough to beat because you're so good on these restarts. That's really your strength here. You're able to get away from any carnage that might happen behind you, and then you're able to manage these tires. You have such a knack for driving these cars, and we've even tried to make it tough on you by switching up the cars. And okay, so you're not the biggest street stock fan, but here you are winning in a tour mod. We already know that you've won in the super late models. Are you going to come out and repeat this performance next week?
Can lead all of 100 laps next week.
Yeah, there we go.
I think I can do it. I'm not the best in these mods, but supers are where I'm good at.
All right, so if you dominated like this here tonight in a modified, you're going to be the guy. They're going to be gunning for you, and I think the more we race together here, the more those people realize that you might end up with that target on your back. Are you worried about that at all?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that, but we'll see. It seems like the admins do a pretty good job of giving penalties to those who cause wrecks. So if anyone does want to or does put a target on my back or ends up wrecking me or something like that, they know they'll get an EOL, so it'll hurt them as well. So hopefully, I don't think we have any drivers in this league that would ever do such a thing. But when you go out there and lead almost every lap of the race, it's always possible.
Well, we know they're going to be practicing and trying to get better, but right now, Ryan Matthews, you look like the guy to beat in this series. Do you have anyone that you would like to thank? Any shout-outs or anything like that?
Yeah, I got to thank my dad, Carter Wood, Cameron Wood, Tim Hammock, my sponsors, Carbon Racing Solutions, S&M Auto Service, and my mom. And thank you all for putting it on as well.
Well, hey, thanks for coming out and spending your Wednesday nights with us. We appreciate it. Congratulations once again. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Ryan Matthews, your race winner.
Thank you.
All right, and we got one more interview to get out of the way here, ladies and gentlemen, and that is Jeffrey Gabalt. Jeff Gabalt put on one heck of a show tonight. He started all the way back. Did Jeff Gabalt started 21st and finished 4th? Mr. Gabalt, how did you get that done tonight, man?
A lot of luck fell my way. We missed a lot of caution, or I'm sorry, we missed a lot of wrecks, and cautions just kept falling, and we slowly picked another one off, and you looked up and you're in 4th.
Now, when you're going caution after caution like that, and you finally get that long green flag run, how difficult was it just to save your tires and abide your time, other than just happy you're green flag racing and wanting to just put the hammer down?
I had some damage to my right front, so I couldn't really get all the way down to the throttle when I was coming out of the corner. So I really just backed my corners up and let it roll the top. And I noticed it's just like everything else here. You roll the top, and you really got an edge on the next guy, and it just kind of just everything fell my way. It felt like.
As it did, there was a couple other drivers we're keeping an eye on throughout the field that was abiding their time and just points racing basically, and a couple of them did not have the outcome that they were expecting or wanting coming out of that. But you were able to do so, coming from the back all the way to the front. While we got you here, anybody that you would like to thank or say hello to?
I would like to thank Speedy, Tyler Sontag. As most of us know, he makes all of our paints, or a majority of our paints, and he does a killer job. Whether he makes it look like a real race car, or my car, for instance, he made it as close to my father's ride as he could, and I think it's an awesome thing he does.
So speak on that a little bit, and shout out to Tyler. Tyler does a wonderful job with the iRacing paints. Tyler Sontag, if you're an iRacing fan, you're iRacing driver, hit him up. His prices are stupid cheap, and he'll make your car look as good as you need it to. But speak about that. Speak a little bit on that paint scheme as well as your racing experience.
Yeah, this is a tribute to my dad's Sportsman. We've raced it once down at 417, right before this COVID breakout, and we won our first race since coming back to racing in probably about 4 or 5 years. Um, his number's 29, my number's 92, so I really, this is the year I was born, so it's just kind of a number I always stuck with in everything I do. Um, I don't have any real racing experience. I'm a crew member for my uncle. My uncle is Jesse Dutilli, 30 Super Late Model. I follow him around from New Smyrna to 417 to Showtime to Five Flags. So I just help them out. I'm learning the ropes and just enjoying everything and watching racing.
You got to start somewhere, and there is this guy that no one really knows of. His name is Chad Knaus, and he started off as a tire changer. Nobody really knew of him, and now Chad, I guess he's some guy that's on TV that has like 7 championships. I don't know who the hell he is, but we all start somewhere. So that's awesome to hear, Jeff. That's great to see that paint scheme, the story behind it, and anybody you'd like to shout out or give thanks to while you're here.
Yeah, just my family, our guys that work on the cars, and we're all ready to get back racing.
As we all are. Congratulations on the Hard Charger Award. Being a hard charger, you will definitely be noticed, as well as I believe you're going to get $10 from Jesse Powers. How about that?
I'm pumped. that's gonna get me some food on Saturday.
Well, there you go. And be sure to on Facebook private message me your PayPal information. I'll be sure that gets over to you.
Thanks, Wes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is your hard charger, Jeffrey Cabal, who did a wonderful, wonderful job. So points are up for you all to see.
As hard as it was for me to do, I was able to get it done by the end of the broadcast, and I'm going to fade in here. We're going to do a little bit different than what we usually do. I'm going to show you the Vidane.net website, and you should definitely familiarize yourself with this because we've got the schedules, we got the points, we got the sponsors, all that good stuff, and some merch up there too. Don't forget to click on that button once we get some t-shirts and stuff made. But to nobody's surprise, it's the Ryan and Ryan show. Ryan Borgs, Ryan Matthews tied with 76 points apiece right now for the lead. Third or second, as it were, Eric Purcell, Patrick Thomas, points racing, Tanner Thomas in that car tonight, fourth in points. So definitely a great call tonight. And man, oh man, Jeffrey Gilbont, we just talked to him. He was fifth in points. Nicholas Noggle, Blake Klauser, Anthony Sergi, tough break for him tonight. He drops all the way back down to eighth after winning last week. Nick Snyder, ninth, and Devon Mcleod, 10th. So great to see these points. We are going to be cleaning these up a little bit. There's kind of you'll see some guys down low that have some wins just because of the Consi races. Anybody that doesn't make the feature event, the top 25 in that A main, they get scored 10 points apiece. And we are working on the kind of automating the system a little bit, so we had to tweak it just a bit to make it work for our needs. But huge props to simracingpoints.com. Those guys are pretty awesome. They put on a great points program here. But if you want to check out, we've actually had between the 2 weeks 57 drivers start at least one event here, so definitely very cool, very, very popular series. And Wes, we got the points battle going on, and these boys are tied after 2 weeks. How long do you think they're going to be able to hold on to it?
Man, I see Ryan Matthews going away with the sole lead by next week. And for those who try to familiarize the way that we do the points, the driver that leads the most laps gets a bonus point, as well as if you lead a lap, you get a bonus point, as well as winning. And then you're just scored as follows. Each position is 1 point different. So pretty cool how we do it here. Try to have some fun with it. We try to make sure these guys all get an opportunity to race for something all the way towards the end. So I think we are wrapping it up, Paul. My name is Wes Rowdy Hogue. I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to send it over to Paul Strickland Jr. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us one more time. And next week should be a doozy in the Supers.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. And we got the Ryan and Ryan show coming your way again next week. We'll see who's going to step up to the challenge there. It's going to be very interesting to follow along here. We got 7 weeks of racing left. Who knows? All it takes is one bad race to change things. So make sure you're right here on VidaneTV next Wednesday night for week number 3 with the super late models with the World Series of Esports here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Y'all have a great night.
But don't sleep on us too long. We got super lates here next Wednesday at New Smyrna Speedway. A lot of action in between now and then. Tomorrow night, check in with us. Another Throwback Thursday race here for the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Busch National Series at Lucas Oil. Those guys are going to be racing, taking the green flag at 8:15 tomorrow night. No racing Friday. Tim's Corner Motorsports moved over to Saturday night, so we're free Friday night. I might go out to the Oh, wait. Nope, can't do that. So we'll figure out something to do to entertain ourselves Friday night here at VidaneTV. But Saturday, triple header, Tim's Corner Motorsports with the Petty Raceway Series, racing at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's going to be a rough one to get up to, but we'll make it happen here at VidaneTV. Carter's iRacing Series starting Season 2 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Same great road racing action with those guys. A little bit of a different time slot later on in the day. Tim's Corner Motorsports special events, they're going to be doing the prime time, 7:30 start time there Saturday night. Hudson Speedway iRaces returned with us on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock, and race number 2 of Season 2 with the Carter iRacing Series. Oh, you thought we were done? No, sir. Page 2. Sunday night, 9 o'clock, East Coast Winter League, SK Modifieds at Stafford Motor Speedway, so that'll be really cool. And next Tuesday, pumped for this one, the Old Dominion Raceway reunion. A lot of guys, a lot of racers, a lot of old school racers that have jumped on the iRacing simulator. Going to be doing a big pre-show, lots of faces, lots of names, lots of voices. That's going to be an awesome, awesome show, so definitely do not miss that Tuesday night of next week. And like we said already, next Wednesday coming back to New Smyrna with the super late models, so that's going to be a hell of a show. And then getting on into the Thursday night, New England, Pennsylvania iRacing, National Bush Series. I forgot what it was. I think I screwed up the graphic. But then the doubleheader on the weekend, Carter's iRacing Series Season 2. So lots of action, as always, here on VidaneTV. I'm whooped. I'm going to go crack a beer, hang out for a little bit, and catch some Z's. For Rowdy Wesley Hogue, for Ryan Stevens, for everybody here at iRacing and New Smyrna, thank you guys so much for coming out this evening, checking out some racing with us. Thank you to all the sponsors. Thank you to Edgewater Screens for putting on the series sponsorship award up for that. And like I said, check out www.vidane.net for all the points, all the series information, driver spotlight, sponsor spotlight, all that good stuff right on our website. And also be sure to check out our social media. Get us on Facebook, facebook.com/VidaneTV, and always check us out on YouTube, because that's where you're going to get that gorgeous 1080p high definition screen that looks fantastic. If you want to rewatch the race on a smart TV or a Fire Stick or whatever you got that's got the YouTube app on it, definitely be sure to check that stuff out. But again, thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. We'll see you next time when we pull everything out here at VidaneTV and we do it live.